yeah. So getting back to Aguilera. Oh, it's Karen Didi show. Thank you for tuning in. This is part 3 of damn Tina Marie's passed away today. Sorry to hear that. Now, Christina Aguilera. Just when she thought she was gonna blow clean up, which is sad for them because they blew up long ago. I mean, they blew up in like 98, 97 and shit. It was hot way back in the 90s. Mm-hmm. She already had her time to come back and think that you're gonna blow clean up like that. On the second time, that shit is only reserved for Britney Spears. Mm-hmm. That's not reserved for her. She wasn't, it's like the other one who had the husband, Nick Lachey.
Jessica Simpson.
It's like her thinking she gonna blow up. That's only reserved for certain motherfuckers.
The thing about that is this. I think they get caught up and they think that because they're married, they need to be single in order to attract, more people to be interested in them. The problem is they don't realize that, when people are watching and they're looking at your relationship, when you have a good relationship and you have a husband and you married or whatever, whatever the case might be, people buy into that. People buy into relationships. People like to see, well, I know I do. I like to see how a couple's relationship, how they work. If it's on TV, I like to see how y'all maneuver, how y'all deal with each other, how y'all, how y'all work out. That's interesting. People want to see that. Any show that you can think of when it was a couple, if they was married or they was just living together or whatever, when they start out that way, they get a lot of interest. They get a lot of buzz, like John and Kate +8. They do good. People want to see families and relationships, I think, work. As soon as that dynamic breaks up, then that's when they start having problems. Because we have a lot of people who don't stay married. That's common. Divorce is common. You expect people to get married. As soon as they having issues or problems, it's expected that, they're going to break up. But it's not expected to see people stay together. So when you stay together and you have kids or whatever it is, and y'all working that out, or, people are interested to see how that works.
Right.
That's what I feel. I feel because in all those situations, they don't realize it, though. I don't think they take advantage of that and realize that people want it with Usher. I was saying when he was, I was like, ooh, that album going. First, I didn't think it was going to do good. But then I'm like, if he come out and he talk about his family, how much he loved his wife and now his baby and all this is new, that's a good thing. That's a move in the right direction. But then you mess that up. And then, look how it turned on him. People start calling him, treating him bad. It's like people wanted to see that interaction. He didn't
seem
no.
So that nobody believed in the marriage if you don't show up to marry this bitch.
Then that was a mistake. All that worked against him.
Yeah.
My thing is, look, and there's nothing wrong with being an entertainer and having a family and having a wife. They want you to be single forever. You can't. To me, it's a good progression. You've been in the business, in the game for a long time. Now you finally get a wife, somebody to settle down with. You get children. I think people want to see that, especially the people. I would have bought the album because I feel like, if it was songs that was relating to your wife and how, good, not cheesy and corny, but good songs and talk about your family. That's a new situation, and it's not bad. So I think a lot of people like to see that, but you're 30-something years old and you're still trying to be like this player loving stuff. Nobody ain't feeling you like that. And the fact that you have children now, you should get to a point. I don't care what career because you're a singer or whatever. You should get to a point in your career where you mature, especially when you start bringing kids and children into the world, and you got a wife and all this kind of stuff. Move on past the other stuff.
Since his career, from My Way up to now, up to that My Way up to Confessions, was kind of built. He had a peek into my life type of album situation going there, and I thought that if he had some of the same writers. Mm-hmm. And they weren't trying to go so far, they could have expanded
and moved it forward to show the progression from that until to the wife.
Speak on your life, because right now all this Disney shit, and I'm not saying Disney records as much as all these made up things. It's like, come on. We went through the phase where people were talking about how much money they had. No, they didn't have.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about that. And I don't want to hear about
fine bitches you have, you didn't have then.
I don't want to hear
How
about that
many
either.
big penises you didn't mess with, you ain't had.
We don't want to hear about that. And we don't want to see women, y'all naked on the screen.
Yeah,
Trust me,
like,
I don't want to see you in that shit.
Sex sells is bullshit. Okay, that's an old thing.
You got
no one sells
song.
controversy. Michael Jackson never had any kind of crazy shit. Any kind of sexual shit going on outside of them fucking child molestation things that weren't true. But he had crazy sales.
Michael Jackson.
Crazy.
He had a lot going on.
He had a lot of shit going on.
He
hyperbaric chamber and elephant man bones and why the fuck he keep changing your face like that? All this shit that made people interested in him. He never pull his chest out and you know.
We didn't even nobody even
thought about Michael Jackson having a dick on fucking somebody.
But as a sex symbol,
you never thought that. You're like, oh, Michael Jackson.
I think, and that would have ruined it if I was thinking of him like
sexually, because that wears off. I mean, motherfucker get old.
Wears off.
Usher right now, he rip off his shirt. 30-year-old man, 20-year-old man, probably. Oh yeah. Then 30-year-old man, it's like, put your shirt back on, bro. I mean,
who you trying to impress? I mean, you already saw that.
You remember was watching Tom Cruise on that movie, and it's like that's kind of, old man cuts.
Don't remind me.
It's like
old man cuts.
That I'm still trying to hold it down. It's like, come on, man. The married thing would have really worked out.
Yeah.
If he would have played it right up front, he should have never not showed up to marry the woman. Because that is where it started to spiral.
Look, the things that you do now, it's all instantaneously. Is that a word?
Yes.
We all know what's happening as soon as it happens. So it's like you really have to be careful and cautious of the things that you do because any little thing can really affect your career. It's like, are they thinking like, what? My gosh, you can't even take a picture without somebody getting it and putting it up on the internet.
Mm-hmm. It looks like the bitch kicked him in the face. It was right there on YouTube.
Who kicked him in the face?
He was.
It's on there. It's on there now. Somebody kicked Usher in the face.
Yeah, by mistake she threw a leg over and
I gotta go see
smacked the piss out of him. I don't like the new album either. I'm not
Usher?
a fan. Yeah. I'm not a fan. I did like the one where they say it was whack. The second, the one after he got married. I like that. I like the whole idea that he was a family man. He had a wife and kids, and he should have played on that and built it up and made it strong. But what can you do when you're used to, being a sex symbol? It probably to women it would probably look sexier, to have a wife.
Yeah, because people, I think. I don't think it's for everybody. I don't think everybody want to, everybody might not want to get married and have children, and that's fine. But I think a lot of people, it's something, even if you don't want it, it's just the idea of it, I think. The idea of a family and, just the whole marriage thing, I think. Even if you don't want it, it's something that it's a mystery to a lot of people. It's like the idea of it, I think people kind of fall in love with it because, the whole act of just love and the children and all that. Why do you think everybody want to people gay marriage and stuff? People want to get married. It's the idea of it. It's the idea of it. Now you don't have to get married and you can be happy with whatever you choose. But I think the idea of it, people fall in love with that, even if they don't want it for themselves. When you see that, you think, well, oh, that's so cute. He's married. He got his family. He settled down. And then if you're in the entertainment industry, you put out an album, and you in there talking about your wife and how great, people like that. I think more people would have liked him more and start to fall in love with him all over again because of that. And then when he go to interview, he could talk about those things, how it's changed. What he said, it's changed his life, his children. And I could tell he loved his boys, and they're cute. But it's just, it throws people off when, you do that, and then it's like, you're not sure that's if you want to do, if that's what you wanted to do. And then you have your mama involved, which you're a grown man and you shouldn't even be letting that make you look like a bitch, really. And people don't, really want to, deal with that. Because once you start looking like a bitch to people, the women, that throw women off. It's like, my gosh, come on, make your own decisions. You're a grown man. Like, you letting it, I really think that's what affected. We listened to him on that interview
Oh yeah, from 2 years ago when that
and
girl
they just messed over
Angie, when
him.
they wore his ass out.
And they just, I like they just respected him, like they didn't care, that he was Usher, like
Yeah,
Usher,
I didn't
like
like that
I don't,
statement. Like, do you know me? It's like,
yeah, like okay, I know who you are,
you got a
and
few million
what
dollars.
you
Bitch,
know
you
who I
probably do you
am.
own all your shit. I mean,
Sure, you're a human being just like
it's
everybody
like, do
else.
you own your fucking house and car and all that shit you using? Because right now you just using that shit. Yeah, fuck, you're Usher. You're a singer.
Yes, you're a singer. I know you are a singer. What that? What?
That
What
don't mean a
else? What
goddamn
else?
thing. That don't mean
You
that
know?
you gonna whoop my ass.
Right.
You might have
Exactly.
some people that can whoop my ass,
Right.
but
But you not.
you may not be able to whoop my ass.
Mm-hmm.
Because you may know Taekwondo, bitch. I might know Judo. Who
He
knows?
know
You know?
Taekwondo.
I don't know. But,
I don't
it's
give a
like
shit,
you
really.
might have been practicing kicking. I might have, I'm using
Taekwondo.
P90X.
You might.
So, I'm learning how to fight too, bitch. I mean, what? Let's do it.
Shit. If I pull
I
out.
didn't understand that. I love when people get full of themselves and be like, do you
Yeah.
know me? I'm
But
like,
I never
bitch,
really.
I don't know
But
you.
I told you, I never was
But I
really
know
a
one
fan of
thing:
him in
if
the
I
first
keep on
place.
talking about you on this radio station and talking about you in a bad way, you'll lose a lot of record sales. I think a lot of that should be they forget that. Yeah, bitch, I know you. I know that you depend on us
To
for you
make
to get
you,
paid.
for you to and depended on us to get, well, not me, because I never bought his stuff,
Yeah, but they depend on the
because I'm
people
not,
to get
yeah, to
paid.
get paid.
It's like, yeah, you a bad bitch as long as as long as I don't start a campaign to
Mm-hmm.
cut you down. Because you remember what?
Is he on tour right now?
Yeah, he is.
Well, I don't hear nothing about it. Like, is it
Trey
doing well?
Songz is on that tour. That's another
Trey Songz. Trey
Trey
Songz.
Songz.
Bottoms up, bottoms up. Throw your hands
Didn't they
up.
say he was
Just to
gay or
get
something?
ready.
That's
Child, I don't even
wild.
want to
That's
talk about
hilarious,
that.
man.
That's on him. He won't be gay. That's his business.
Hey, I ain't got nothing against gay people.
Yeah, I know.
Gay people, there are a lot of gay people I watch on this YouTube thing that be funny as a motherfucker. It's amazing. To give a motherfucker that kind of this here YouTube thing is amazing. You give people a place to talk their shit. But I think Aguilera left her husband and broke up her family and all that shit, and then none of this shit is working.
Because,
I don't know if this was that was the reason.
well, I think that was part of the reason, because she felt like now she can be free and do her thing without her husband in a way. Because, you got a husband, there's certain things you can't do. You can't just be having all these men friends and favors and all that. So now that's out of the way. She was ready to, let her wings out and do her thing, and it didn't work. So,
Yeah, and because it didn't work out, and it never works out when you do that. Raymond versus Raymond didn't work, and it isn't working. I don't understand. I think he needs to go back to Jermaine Dupri, who is another underrated, talented motherfucker, and let him produce some more records on you. Let Jermaine Dupri talk about his life, like he did on Confessions, and you sing his life into existence, and y'all make lots of money together. Because right now, I heard 7 songs before there was an official single.
Yeah.
And then when the official single came out, I'm like, this ain't even the one that should be out. This, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. There's a lot of misdirected careers out there right now. And who am I? I'm just a consumer.
Yeah, just a consumer, yes. And a consumer that's not going to buy bullshit.
Yeah, because right now I
Because
know 6 or 7
money is,
cats that'll bring me that CD for nothing.
You don't want to buy. You don't want to spend your
hard-earned dollars
money on bullshit.
And literally all these non-wig snatches.
Yeah, don't throw no album out just to throw it out and put it
That's
out.
what I think Sierra did. Like,
That make people feel stupid. That make you feel stupid. Oh, because what are they saying?
Because you can't even return a CD.
And then what are they saying? You think, oh, let's just throw this together and they're gonna buy it. They're gonna just get it. No, people are smarter than that. People ain't gonna just buy no album because your name is on it and you put it out. No, we want to hear this shit and listen to it. And if it ain't worth nothing, who gonna buy that shit? You're not gonna buy that.
The worst thing that could have happened to y'all is Napster.
You can go and listen to the music. Yeah, now
because now when I listen to it, I've been to check it all out on YouTube and look at it and be like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with this.
Yeah, if you don't like it, I mean, you just throw something on an album and then just put it out there and think, put your name on it. People are supposed to just buy it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
But thank y'all for watching us go
Thank
through it,
y'all.
and we love you. See you later.
Peace.